Hey everyone, so I wanted to share this specific Swift race because I was racing in the 330 to 450 category and my Swift score was 446 I think. So I was thinking that this would be my last race, hopefully for a long time until I get older or way older, that I will be racing in this category. So I was quite excited to commemorate that with a recording of the race for, I guess, my own memories. I had just returned from Tour de Bintan 2 days ago, which was 100 km on Saturday and 150 km on Sunday. And today was Tuesday here in Singapore as I was doing this race. So a bit fatigued. My plan was to stay with the pack and just try not to get too tired and finish close to the front so that I would get my Swift score beyond 450 and graduate to the next category. But as you will see, the race and my own excitement had other plans. So this was, stage 3 of the, I forgot what, some Swift racing series that is happening now. I had done quite well in the last 2 events. I think I had finished second on stage 1 racing on this same category and 9th on stage 2 racing 1 category up. And I've been training quite a bit, I guess, so I had noticed my FTP had been going up over the last few weeks. So I was feeling quite strong for this race this time around. Here I knew that it was going to start with a climb and that there would be a climb at the end because that's what I had read earlier in the day. But yeah, here so far I was just trying to stay with the main group, looking out for any kind of like early attacks or anything like that, but I just wanted to stay with the draft essentially and not be too tired. My coach had told me that I should not be doing Swift racing today, but I couldn't find a suitable date tomorrow or the following day to do it, so I just went ahead with it. So here we can see there is starting to be a bit of separation, but there were about, I think, 19 to 20 riders who were in this front part of the group, and then I think there was like a few second gap starting to open up to the rest of the folks. We can see there at the bottom of the ranking with some folks already just 1 second, but starting to drift a bit apart here with the pace at the climb. I was feeling pretty relaxed still. I was just enjoying and chilling a little bit here, protected by the draft at the front. So here we're coming up to the end of that first climb, and we can see the front group of quite a few riders. About, I think, 19 or so of us are here together at the front, and we can see a gap starting to open up, 2, 4, etc. seconds towards the bottom part of the ranking there. So this was already starting to separate. We're gonna be the contenders from the rest of the group, and there was this early attack from the front rider here, Russ, that would get shut down quite quickly. Luckily, I didn't have to do any work myself here, just followed on the wheels of those that were coming behind. But the story would change, as we will see in a bit. we can see here now the pace quite relaxed, sitting at around 120 to 180 watts in the draft. So this was a pretty chill part of the race. Allowed me to recover from that first climb that we had just passed, but still the separation being maintained with the riders that couldn't make it past that top, or sorry, that first climb that happened yet. So yeah, at this point I was feeling like I could probably win this race, or at least place in the podium. I think I get a bit lazy when it comes to winning. If I have to do a last sprint, 90% of the time I'm just like, I'm fine finishing in the top 10 or whatever. But anyways, I was feeling strong, but I was also remembering there was a time not maybe that long ago when I would have been struggling to keep the pace here with this group. So I was, quite happy to feel like all the training and hard work that I've been doing so far has been sort of reflecting in the performance and in how I feel on the trainer, and also when I ride outdoors in the real world as well. So yeah, I was feeling pretty confident that I could do okay in towards the end of the race, essentially. So here, keep an eye on the rider there from China, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, the flags are a bit small, but the guy or lady called -0.5 because that rider would set off an attack soon on the group that would go uncontested for quite a bit of time until a certain someone got a bit antsy and decided to try to bridge the gap that had opened up. But we will see that unfold quite soon. In one of my previous recent races, there was a rider also that attacked quite early in the race and went by themselves ahead, and nobody was able to catch them until pretty much the end of the race. So that was one thing that I was a bit wary about that could happen here, because even though there's a ZScore and everyone is supposedly of a similar level, it is yeah, it's clear that sometimes some riders are quite a bit stronger. Maybe they're like about to make the jump to the next level, or are already at the next level but haven't been swifting too much recently, so the Swift score doesn't reflect that. So I knew it was a possibility that someone would go out hard and that maybe the peloton wouldn't respond. But I was quite happy that so far that had not happened, because I did not want to be the one that had to respond. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that did not end up being the case. So we will see that happening, I don't know, at some point. I don't remember too well, even though the race was only like an hour ago. But yeah, let's just wait and see. So here we have the first attack, one rider going up there. I think this D Rowley person, no, someone else, I don't know who it is, but going up in front, opening up quite a gap there, and no one is really responding here so far. But yeah, I was starting to get worried. I didn't want to make the jump myself too soon, because in my mind I was supposed to chill in this race as much as possible and just trying to make it to the next ZScore band. But also the competitive side always comes into the fray when you're in any kind of race, or at least that's the case for me. So I was also, getting antsy, hoping that someone would chase across and prevent this rider from going out on their own. So yeah, here we can see the negative 0.5 person deciding to make the move and not let this rider escape. And I immediately latched onto their wheel, stayed protected, but also pushed myself across. And we can see with the timings on the ranking board that a few riders are there right behind me. And a few more like not that far behind, but this was causing the group to stretch a bit, as you see the 1 second, 2 second gap starting to appear on that group, which was all riding in a bunch just now. And this rider at the front, Takada, was caught. So the attack there was not ultimately successful for them. But yeah, this was not gonna be the end of the fireworks for this little race here. So now here, yeah, we can see the negative 0.5 rider putting in 5.6 to 4.5 watts per kilogram and starting to open up a gap there at the front. And we had this rider from Evo who I thought was gonna close but didn't. So essentially that gap opened up, and at this point I still was hoping that someone else would go and close it. As we see these riders kind of like coming at speed, but as soon as they got to the front, I think they backed off a bit and allowed the gap to continue. I guess they didn't want to do the work as much, and neither did I, so you can see me there going to the front also and then just backing up. And yeah, at this point, okay, the gap was open, but I was just thinking, you know, maybe it'll hold there at like 3, 4, 5 seconds, and I could always like claw it back, or with the group claw it back if, you know, in these coming climbs, people picked up the pace. But I mean, it's fairly clear there's a power differential there between that front rider and what anyone else was willing to do here at the back. So the gap would just start stretching more and more as we progressed into this sort of like second middle part of the race, let's say, on this long climb that is here between the start portion and the finish climbs. So at some point soon I would see that the gap was too wide, that the group wasn't closing, and I decided to say, what the hell with my plans of having a chill day in the saddle, and just went out on a big effort to bring that gap down, with the hope that that front rider would be tired once I got there. So here, yeah, you can see me pushing 6 watts per kg to start the separation from the group, which, I mean, for me it's a lot, maybe not for everyone watching, obviously, since I'm in a fairly low category. But yeah, I would keep this fairly high power, and you can see nobody in the group is responding, and the rider at the front is trying to pick up at certain times. You can see them coming up to like 4, almost 5 watts per kg, but not as high as what I was putting, catching up to them. So it would take me a while, but eventually I did manage to close the gap there. Start to see them showing up there at the top of the route on the screen. Yeah, so this was giving me hopes that that gap would come down soon, but it took a bit longer than I would have hoped / expected. Yeah, so I did end up bringing myself to a relatively high level of fatigue. In the end, once the ride was over, I realized that I had hit my 3rd highest 20-minute power, I think, which, yeah, obviously means that I was pushing myself quite a bit here, not just to close this gap, but later to try to sort of win. Although as soon as the race was over, I was like, hey, I don't think I tried as hard as I could have. But yeah, as I mentioned, sometimes I get a bit lazy in my head. Maybe I'm not competitive enough, I don't know. I'm like, you know, as far as I'm like there in the front and I feel like I did a good job, I don't mind not being the first, kind of thing. Or that's sort of what I tell myself when the legs start hurting, which is probably just me putting excuses in my head, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure that's what anyone watching this video is thinking. And I guess it's true. But it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, sorry, I was saying I have won some races still, but yeah, mostly I will just come in the top 10, sometimes second, I think podium now is a happy place, I guess. And so yeah, at this point I caught with the rider, and I was just like thinking, okay, let's just stay on his or her tail. Yeah, so at this point I caught that right at the front, and I was just thinking, let's stay on their tail for, I guess, as long as I feel like, and then try to attack them at some point closer to the end of the race. I was hoping that, yeah, by them being in front, they would be putting a bit more watts than me, putting a bit more effort, and that would mean that they would essentially wear down, so that when I was ready to make my move, they wouldn't be able to keep up the pace or close that gap that I would open up. At the same time, they did do a few attacks on me from the front, so you'll see several moments where their power kind of like jumps up, and they tried to open up a bit of separation, and then I would have to myself then try to close the gaps like it's happening here right now. But yeah, all in all, we're sort of like riding together until the last few hundred meters of the race, essentially. So here we're coming to the end of that the end of that second climb. And now it would be all downhill until the final climb. One thing I was keeping an eye on also is like what was the separation to the back of the group. So I was kind of thinking, okay, if this person starts playing games, I guess I can play along, and maybe they're more hungry to win than I am, or in their mind they're more desperate to win than I am, so they'll still pull forward. Because I was kind of relaxed, and also I felt like, even if the group catches up, which, you know, the timing is quite big right now, 40 seconds, but even if they catch up, I'd be able to open up the gap again on that final climb, because I tend to do fairly well on the climbs, both in Swift and in real life as well. So we're now crossing the 4 km mark, and yeah, all I'm doing right now is trying to stay on their wheel as much as possible, trying not to have to react like strongly, like with a lot of short bursts of power to any moves that they're doing. So I was keeping an eye on their on the rider ranking, on how much watts per kg this person was putting out, so that if I saw that spike, I would be able to sort of like react quickly and not have to do like a big jump myself to catch up just because I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, here we can see them putting 8 watts per kg there for a brief stint, and I was able to react, close the gap, go in the front just because of inertia, but I would basically stop pedaling and wait for them to catch me again. So if you're looking at my heart rate there, I'm at about 150 beats per minute, and I tend to cap out at like 175 at most, but usually let's say 165 to 170. Yeah, so it's fairly low ceiling. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I've never really, I guess, researched too much about it. But yeah, I mean, I was pushing, I guess, close to my ceiling. Yeah, I cannot go to like 190 or those high BPMs that other riders do. But all I'm saying is, because I'm basically not chilling, even though the BPM is maybe not as high as folks would expect. Okay, so here we're coming into the final climb, 2.4 kilometers to go, and so far I had executed my plan with this rider specifically, I guess, pretty much to perfection, just like staying on the wheel, getting the draft benefit, and I was thinking somewhere in this climb I will attack and try to leave them behind. Let's just choose where. And I couldn't quite decide whether I should try to do it early and go for like a long slog up the mountain, or if I should leave it towards the end. And yeah, I'm not, I guess, like a super sprinter type, I feel, where I can do like I'm not good at like very short, high power bursts. I'm more of a, I don't know what, like I do well on like, I guess, shorter climbs, or like, I guess maybe long climbs where I can sustain like a high but not too insane effort. So yeah, maybe I should have attacked earlier and tried to use that ability or whatever to my advantage, but I didn't. As I was saying, I also was feeling kind of like a bit lazy. And at this point I was thinking like, okay, whether it's first or second, it's fine. I'm gonna meet my goal of promoting myself to the next category probably. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not hungry enough or not willing to put myself in the red enough to go for it. Yeah. Here I hadn't done I didn't do a route recon of this race, so I thought maybe the race would end in this flat blue section that is showing up at the end of the kind of like elevation screen there in the middle. But yeah, then as you guys can see, there was still more to come, a bit more suffering. So at this point I decided, okay, let's try to do the attack towards the end of this climbing section and carry that through this sort of like blue area into that last climb. I was thinking like it cannot be too far. So you'll see me ramping up my power here, or I mean not here but very soon, to try to leave this rider behind. But to their how do you say, to their kudos, yeah, I can't think of the right word right now, they were having none of that and they stuck to me like glue. Yeah, so here you can see me punching a bit, trying to go through the flat section up the next climb with a bit of power. And it took them a sec to react, but yeah, they were there in like no time. I guess I didn't try hard enough because that like 6 watt per kg moment only lasted like 3 seconds. So Yeah, I guess that was doomed to fail now that I look back on it. But then I tried again here on this flat section. But yeah, now you can see also the power going back down and the rider coming through once more. And I think I made one final attempt sometime towards the end of this, which did open up like a 1 second gap, but then I also just didn't commit, kind of like backed off, and this individual negative 0.5 person just caught up quite easily and beat me in the final sort of like sprint, which I didn't really sprint. So here I saw the feather and that prompted me to react hard. I guess I did try quite hard to open up with this short burst. Carried it through a bit, opened up a small 1 second gap here and there. Then, he caught up. Then I tried again. The gap didn't really open, and at this point I've already like backed out, putting up like way more power than I am. And I thought of reacting a bit here, but it was too late already and that thing was gone. So that was the end of the race. My lazy race finish. But second place still, so I mean it's good. And when I checked my Z-score, I had gone above 450, and that means I have graduated. So yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to graduate to the next category ever again, or if this will be the only one time in my life. So I thought I should commemorate it with this little video. But hopefully I'll keep training hard, and yeah, who knows, maybe next year I will move out of the 450 to 570, I think it is, category, although that seems very, very far away at this point in time.